we got to bring in the experts to talk about this. We got my guy Detective in here, your TikToker's favorite TikToker, and Scotty as usual because he's always here. So we got them, but a lot to talk about. We want to talk about what got people excited, who is Sadie Sink playing, and what new characters are we looking most forward to? This Marley films to that like button, hit that sub button. Without further ado, let's jump into it.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering.
Detective, I'm going to start with you because we haven't talked yet, but give me one thing you are most excited about after seeing the trailer. Just one.
I am excited about The Punisher.
Okay. Why is that?
That's what I'm excited about. So apparently the big villain in the movie is the Jackal. And, you know, the Jackal hired the Punisher to take out Spider-Man. So to see their interaction, I actually look forward to it. I hope it's more than just that one truck scene that we saw. You know, I hope there's actually some give and take. No, I take it back. I'm excited about Spider-Man versus ninjas. That's what I'm excited about. I stand corrected the more I think about it. I can't remember the issue of the comic, but that was the comic cover, him jumping into a group of hand ninjas as they're leaping towards him. So I think that's what I'm most excited about, their skill versus his Spider-Man abilities.
Yeah. No, it'll be cool to see the hand on the big stage. I got to ask you because a lot of people have compared that shot to the last shot of last movie where it was all three Spider-Men saying there'll be somebody else jumping with him against the hand. Are you buying that or are you not buying that? Because he is kind of at the top of the frame there.
Unless Daredevil pops up, because I believe he was the one who was in the comic that helped out Spider-Man. But I mean, we do have the Punisher, and he has a history with ninjas also, with the hand ninjas. So maybe, but I don't. From what I could tell, I don't think so. But Marvel's had it before where they've digitally erased a character, and then in the movie they put him back in, so you didn't see him in the trailer.
That's what I think.
Who knows?
All right, well, don't hide. All right, Scotty, I'll throw it to you. I don't know if you told me what you were most excited about. You told me some things you like, but what are you most excited about coming into this movie?
I'm most excited for Sadie Sink's character to not be Jean Grey, because I want to see the look on everybody's faces that was over here sounding crazy. Because I'm like, I kept telling people they're not going to put one of the biggest female X-Men ever, if not the biggest, in this movie to be a co-star or a side character. This is going to be another redhead. And I ran down the people that it could be. They want to introduce mutants because mutants are coming out in the next movie. I mean, they already introduced them, but they want to slowly bring out more popular ones. It's Firestar.
All right, well, hold that because we're going to get into that later of who Sadie Sink is actually playing. But I see you got hate in your heart early.
Oh, it's a lot of hate.
early in the day. So I was most excited about to see Sadie Sink. But yeah, just for me, it's a lot of cameos in there. I'm interested to see what they do with Peter Parker in this movie. Obviously, talked to Scotty about this a little bit in our last video. Obviously, he kind of lost everything at the end of the last movie. It's a start over. We're going back to street level Spider-Man. We're seeing him kind of work his way up on his own. So I'm excited to see what they do with that character. Detective, talk about this a little bit. I want to get your feel kind of from this trailer because something that stuck out to me was it kind of felt like they leveled up a little bit just with this trailer, just with the production and kind of the stage Spider-Man was on. So kind of with Homecoming and that trilogy with Spider-Man, it kind of felt like they were telling a Spider-Man story, but it wasn't necessarily what was happening in the center of the Marvel universe. And me and Scotty have talked about this a lot. We've had a lot of characters with Marvel that's come up recently. Yes, they've made money as far as the fans and reactions. We don't really have it feels like a direct plan or a central character that we want to follow, just like we did with Iron Man and all them in the last one. With this trailer, I watched this trailer and I'm like, okay, this looks like they're putting Spider-Man now on the grand stage in the middle. Like when we look at Marvel, we're following Spider-Man and these other characters will fall in versus we're following the Avengers and characters like Spider-Man are just falling into that. So do you feel like Spider-Man in this new era of Marvel is going to be at the center stage because we got the mutants coming in, we got a lot of other characters, but it felt like they put more into this trailer just rolling this out than they had before?
So I'm not a fan of the first three Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I'm not a fan. I think they're good movies. I don't think they're great. You know, I don't put them in the top 10 of the MCU movies. So, I mean, you know, taste is subjective, but I am not a fan of them. They're just good movies. This
Is there,
one,
let me hold you right there. Is there any reason you're not, or was there something missing that kept you from being like, I really like this trilogy? Because I think the trilogy is well liked for the most part.
People always say, well, don't compare an actor playing a character to a previous actor who played the character, but that's what we all do. We always compare. Yeah. Tobey Maguire, to me, was the best Peter Parker. Tom Holland is the second best. Okay. Andrew Garfield, to me, was the best Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the second best. So there's certain qualities from each actor that he's lacking. So he does well, and I'm happy that they got him when he was fairly young, too. I think they first hired him when he was like 21, 22, something like that. So he wasn't borderline a grandpa like Tobey Maguire was. Even Andrew Garfield, I think he was in his late 20s when he first became Spider-Man. But I think there's just certain qualities from each of those actors that he lacks. He's second best in both categories, but he just lacks something. And even the storytelling wasn't the best to me. Okay. With this movie, my one fear I have is that they're putting too much in it, because I see a lot from different comics, and you can put too much in a pot because too many ingredients doesn't make it taste better. Yeah, it can actually taste worse. So you're taking one storyline with the Jackal and with the Punisher. You have another storyline with ninjas. You have another storyline with Scorpion. How are they going to integrate Sadie Sink's character once we find out who she is? You know, it could be just too much going on. That's the problem I found with the very last Spider-Man movie, with the 3 Spider-Man. The action at the very end of it, I thought was really good. But everything else leading up to it, outside of Spider-Man and Green Goblin with Aunt May dying, spoiler alert for a 6-year-old movie, 5-6-year-old movie, but everything else, it was just background noise. And I didn't care for it. So, I want every comic book movie, as a comic book blurred, I want every comic book movie to do well. But I always have reservations, especially lately. After phase 3? Because even phase 4 wasn't great. So after phase 3, I've had reservations on everything.
Okay. So you don't necessarily, yay or nay, you don't think Spider-Man will be the center of this new phase?
I don't. Spider-Man is still the second or third most popular character worldwide, but the X-Men carried big time in the 90s. In the 90s, it was all about the X-Men, and we got some X-Men movies. But as an older man, because I went to the movie theaters and watched them, as an older man, now that I look back on them, those first 3, well, obviously the third one wasn't good at all, X-Men Last Stand, but even part 2, X-Men United, which I thought was a great X-Men movie when I was younger. Now I'm just like, it's a good movie. It's not great. There's a ton of flaws when you actually pay attention. There's a lot of flaws in that movie. So I think everyone's looking forward to the X-Men. Seeing Cyclops go off and Wolverine, I really think the X-Men might be the future. Because if Spider-Man was going to be the future, he already had 3 previous movies to make him the center of the MCU. I think they're going to push the X-Men really, really hard on us, especially now that they own them.
All right, that's fair. Good point, Scotty. You had some faces during that little monologue there, so if you want to say something, knock yourself out.
This is why when people say he looks like your dad, I'm like, my dad would never say such egregious things.
Okay.
I know. That's what I told him. I'll put you up for adoption.
He would, though. Like, he knows my dad. My dad is known for just only egregious. But I agree with Detective on. No, I don't think Spider-Man is going to be in the main stage at all, because I think they were trying to do that with Homecoming, which I love. All the second best, first best thing, I agree with all that you said. But Homecoming to me was the best young high school origin story, Peter Parker story that we've gotten ever. That Homecoming, I have Homecoming above the rest of the Spider-Man movies. That's actually I think that's the best Spider-Man movie besides Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2. I put Spider-Man 2 above that. But Homecoming to me, it was the epitome of young high school insecure nerdy kid. So I disagree with that part. Everything else in Texas I agree with. They're not putting Spider-Man at center stage because this movie, they tried to do that with 3 movies. The second movie was like a multiverse-ish thing. They even had 2 scrolls at the end. It didn't pan out like that. And they didn't do a good job doing it. No Way Home. It's the second movie in the big multiverse where you see copies of people and all kind of stuff. Sure, it was fun. I don't think No Way Home was that great either, so I don't think that worked as far as putting Spider-Man on the center stage. That should have propelled him a little higher, but that's just, I love nostalgia, but that was just nostalgia just because it had no real impact other than them 3 meeting, and then that means we know each other when we meet each other again. That kind of thing.
Off Aunt May.
That I don't care about Aunt May anyway. I think Aunt May should have died before Alfred died in the comic books. Get out of here.
In the comics, but not Marissa Tomei Aunt May.
Yeah, she can be around for a while.
Marissa Tomei isn't great in anything except for one movie.
She won an Oscar.
Wait, does she?
Yeah, she has an Oscar.
Oh, yes. Was that for that Alien movie that she did?
No.
Wow.
My Cousin Vinny.
Wow.
My Cousin Vinny. I forgot she was in that. That's why I forgot that. Okay.
You can't forget she was in that. She's the main character.
No, I forgot.
All right.
Because I haven't seen that movie since I was a child, so I don't remember her being in the movie.
Anywho,
meaning I don't remember the movie. But no, I think they are pushing X-Men. I think that this is a movie where it's going to be a lot of cameos in it. I do think Spider-Man is going to be centered in his own movie. Cool, but I made a video when his first trailer came out. I said the Jackal is a person holding his arms up. He's in charge of everything. The narrator is Keith David, who probably is the Jackal or another Spider senior character that's just there to mentor. I think all these characters introduced are to kind of still make Spider-Man grounded. It's still going to be a grounded story. It's just going to introduce another mutant probably. But I think this movie is doing the opposite of what the first 3 movies are doing. And this movie is to make him more grounded and be in his own little bubble. Because I think the director said he wants to get back to friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I think this movie is going to be straight up Queens, Manhattan, maybe a little bit of Brooklyn, and that's it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think the characters they introduced that are multiversal are going to go their own route. I think a post-credit scene is going to be whoever Sadie Sink is going to the mansion or going somewhere to meet other mutants. I don't think Spider-Man is taking center stage at all, which is why the rumors are that he's not in Doomsday. He's just a neighborhood guy. I think they're going to keep that neighborhood aspect until they bring in an otherworldly threat, symbiote suit, that kind of stuff. I don't even think we're getting that in this movie. So no, I don't think he's taking center stage.
It's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in Doomsday, I believe.
That's right. He's in there. Tom Holland's not in there, though.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Yeah, he's not, at least he's not disclosed yet. I'm sure he'll show his face or something, but that's going to be the main Peter Parker. So no, I don't think he's taking center stage at all. I think in his next movie, maybe even after his next movie, when we introduce more of the Young Avengers through the shows, like we got Wiccan, Speedballs coming. They introduced Young Iron Patriot.
Patrick already here.
Yeah, the black Captain America that goes bald from Baltimore. He's in there.
Dave Bradley's son. I can't
remember his name. Yeah, something like that. And then so they all together. I think Spider-Man eventually will be center stage, leading a team like that reluctantly because he's not a. What, you don't think so? You don't think he's going to be leader of that team?
No.
We're not going to give him no shine. We just hate him.
No.
Oh, you could have told me we just hate him because I can hate him.
He wasn't on their team in the comics. I don't think.
Well, I know that, but it's
at this point, Tom Holland's what, 27,
no,
28,
he's
even in the movies. He's graduated college, I believe.
Yeah,
is he in college or he's graduated? One of the
no, he's in college, and Tom Holland's he's just getting in college. So he's still kind of in the movies. He's like 19, maybe 18.
Okay, yeah, I don't think he's gonna lead them. I don't.
No, but I ain't. If I know we're gonna hate, we're gonna hate. Then Tom Holland's next 3 movies are gonna be in Queens and Manhattan, and we're gonna throw some people in there from outer space, and they're gonna go about their way to fight the real heroes. And Tom Holland's still gonna be there in that thing. Or we're gonna get Miles Morales, and then Miles Morales gotta start his own trilogy inside Brooklyn. So we're just gonna keep him inside. I know we were hating like that. That's all right. I'm here.
Ain't nobody hating, sir.
Oh, hey, look, I'm here now. I didn't know. Hey,
Well, unlike you two, I haven't felt like they've necessarily pushed Spider-Man just yet. Yeah, No Way Home, ton of characters. They were all Spider-Man characters from original movies. I think they want to connect that and do a little bit to make up for that last amazing Spider-Man we got. That's just not like 2 movies. So, but yeah, it felt like he's been pretty grounded for me. So I don't necessarily know. It just feels a little bit different. So I did want to ask that. But also something we have to talk about because this is the debate here. Scotty brought it up a little bit early. Sadie Sink enters the stage. A quick cameo in the trailer, so much you don't even see her face. I think they cut her face out of the original trailer. Yep. But just question, I'm gonna throw it out there. Who the hell is she playing? Like, who is she playing? Who is she gonna be? Is it Jean Grey? Is it not Jean Grey? I've heard a ton of names, so I brought you 2 on to talk about it. Who is she playing?
I'm gonna give it to the detective because I think he's gonna say the first person out of the 2, and I'll give the second person.
Well, Scotty Too Hottie, I think Sadie Sink is Mary Jane Watson.
3. I should have said 3. Okay, I thought you were gonna say somebody else.
Zendaya plays Michelle Jones Watson. That's who she plays. So she's a different MJ. I think that they're trying to bring him closer to the comic books, and with the multiverse being opened and all those cracks and everything, I think Mary Jane made it to that universe from a different universe. And I think that's what she is, Mary Jane Watson.
That's a hot take.
Yeah,
that's a really
hot take.
I don't think it's that hot.
Not the character. The hot take is how she got there. That's a hot one right there.
Well, I mean, we've had all those other Spider-Man villains come. So why can't we just have regular? We saw Vulture go to the Sony Spider-Man universe
for no reason.
Well, they need help over there. That's why.
And
for no reason.
They got rid of that universe anyway. But I mean, you can go from any universe at this point, as long as those fissures are open. So I think that maybe she fell through, and he's there to save Mary Jane. That's going to be the love of his life.
Do you have a second guess?
A second guess?
I just want to see if you're going to say the person I think you're going to say. If not, I got to say both of them.
Because of our previous conversations, Firestar would be the second guess.
Okay.
Just because of our previous conversations.
Well, let me cook. I'm about to cook them.
All right, Scotty. Who do you think it's going to be?
The number 2 pick, which I think is still likely. I do think it's likely. They have to change her age around because she can't be with Wilson Fisk. No audience is going to go for that. Typhoid Mary. Typhoid. Remember, there are she has abilities where she can make people's eyes turn dark and control people. Recently, I don't know if she still has it because I haven't seen her. Yeah, Typhoid Mary.
She falls more into the Daredevil mythos because she's actually
does, but that's why I said she's number 2 because she can she still do that?
Not as far as I know.
I thought for sure in the Kingpin book when she was with Wilson Fisk. I thought she developed some more abilities where she could, because she has telekinesis and telepathy now.
Low-level telepathy, low-level telekinesis. And
I think I remember the reason she's number 2 is because when she used her telepathy before, I thought the person she used it on, their eyes turned darker. That's why she's my number 2. So
in the comic, when Spider-Man was transformed into that spider being after Morlun killed him, his eyes were all black like that reddish black color. So I think that's a part of his mutation, actually.
No, I'm talking about everybody else she jumps into. Like she jumps into a police officer, an old lady, and someone else. 3 different people she jumps into in the trailer. That's why I'm thinking it could be someone not necessarily evil, but just a rug rat that's walking around. Let's introduce somebody else that has powers.
Okay.
Number 1, obviously, is Firestar. I think it's gonna be Firestar. Number 1, easy. Firestar, and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Easy way to introduce a mutant. Hey, I'm a mutant, or whatever they're going to call him in the MCU. She didn't have great control from, I remember when she's first introduced with her fire abilities. They were kind of small level fire she could start and beams she could shoot. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be useful, but to not have her as a character fighting the hand, and that's why I don't think it's Jean Grey. This is the wrong movie to introduce a younger Jean Grey in. We're good. And Firestar, as I made the video earlier, Firestar looks like a homeless person. And if you cut to what Sadie Sink is wearing, she's wearing a big baggy jacket and sweatpants. She's either homeless, struggling, or number 3, she's battling addiction. And in the comics, most recently, West Coast Avengers, which I used to hate West Coast Avengers when I was a kid. Whenever Uncle George gave me West Coast Avengers books, I was like, I don't want to read this. Everybody looks old. Everybody's moving slow. I don't care about these Rugrats. In the most recent West Coast Avengers book that just ended, which is a great book where they're fighting Jehovah's Witnesses and Ultron's clones and stuff. No, seriously, Jehovah's Witness Ultron's in there. Firestar is dealing with addiction from what happened on the Krakoa arc a couple years ago. And who does she date, detective? She dates another Rugrat criminal that has daddy issues. That's what she likes. What is Peter Parker going through in this movie from the outside looking in that don't know he's Peter Parker? He's a drug addict because he's sweating, he's falling down, he wakes up in places he doesn't know where he's at, drug addict. So she's going to see him sweating and she's going to be like, oh, that's my man. My man. I don't have a lot of self-worth. Neither does he because he's sweating and falling down. Oh, wait, he has powers. I've never shown my powers to anybody. Cool. Let's be dysfunctional. Boom. Go ahead. Say I'm wrong.
While I think you are incredibly wrong, I will give you credit for this. You called Lex Luthor as the King Omega. You made that call weeks before the book came out. So,
because I am the comics detective for real.
The sun shines on a frog's ass. Anyone can win the lotto. All right, you got lucky. Okay, so you could get lucky with this. You could get lucky.
It's not lucky. I've done the research. I've done the research into the character.
Yes, sir.
Bet $5.
You want to bet $5?
Bet $5. Bet you $5 she Firestar, and I'll give you $5 if she's one of your picks. And if it's not either one of my picks, let it go.
Then you
even though one of your picks is my pick.
All right, fair enough. All right. Yeah. That'll work.
Okay. Neither you both can give me $5. We'll put it there.
I ain't got it.
Yeah, I don't have a comic books pick. I mean, Firestar sounds reasonable. I don't think it's Mary Jane. Especially for stuff that's happened outside of the actual Spider-Man movie with him and Zendaya are getting married now, so she could be the Mary Jane of this universe, and I don't see why they would play him up. I don't know. I feel like Sadie Sink is too big of a name to just throw her in as another love interest character. Mm-hmm. It's not like Mary Jane's another love interest character, but it feels like basically like they're going to try to surprise it and not being Jean Grey, but it's also not just going to be a love interest. There's going to be some level of superhero.
I do have one thing
they're going to play with.
To cut in about Mary Jane Watson is not simply a love interest. Mary Jane Watson.
I just said that.
Did you? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I said it not simply just she's a love interest, but yeah, I don't feel like she's going to be like a center character, not just a love interest, but also not Jean Grey showing up.
But currently Mary Jane is Venom.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. She's Venom now. So and she's been Mary Jane is just like the annoying thing in your ear if you have like an ear infection. She never goes away.
That little piece of the symbiote that Tom Hardy's Venom left in the MCU, maybe she gets infected by it. I don't know.
Do you actually think that will happen on the big screen?
No, I'm hoping that Spider-Man will actually find it and we'll actually get the white spider on the Venom suit and not just that blob that we got from Sony. We'll actually have the actual Venom, and then the suit can do whatever. They got a whole new storyline to run with, or they might just forget that storyline altogether. Like have Secret Wars coming up, and maybe he'll get it then. Who knows?
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's a good idea. I think him being a battered Spider-Man, and then in Secret Wars we see the symbiote clutching to him. I think that's a good idea too. Good ideas.
Okay, so I do want to get back to Peter Parker here. Obviously, he's entering the college age here. Scotty brought up earlier. We got him going through college, which is his own storyline. I don't think really neither is. I've never seen it, especially as it really never been in the movies. So I want to ask you, as he goes through this college trilogy, what storylines do you want to see? What kind of Peter Parker development do you want to see as he goes to his talent? Because we really haven't seen it on the big screen, and for, I guess, major general audience, we don't know what happens when he goes to college. I mean, you can go back to the cartoons we watched growing up, where he's rooming with like 3 other superheroes and getting drunk on weekends and fighting crime. But outside of that, we have a lot of progression for this character to go through before he hits the adult version that we've seen with Tobey Maguire. So we got a lot of progression there. What are some storylines that you want to see? What are some relationships that you want to see this character have in not only Brand New Day, but maybe the next couple movies we got going on? Because, I mean, they're throwing 50 characters in this one. Who's to say they're going to stop there? Because in those last 2 movies, we've had every character under the sun show up. So throwing out there, what do you want to see from this character as far as personal development and relationships do you want to see? Detective, we start with you.
I would not, just like Scotty said, I am a fan of characters who stay in one location. It's more claustrophobic that way. So just leave him in New York. He doesn't need to spread out and go all over the world. And I would like to see him go up against the Kingpin. Physically, he would dominate the Kingpin. But with Kingpin, there's more than physicality involved because he is the upper echelon of gangsters in comics. So his reach is far and extending. And if you bring in the Kingpin, that means he can hire anybody. You can have any character. So take him away. As a matter of fact, don't even take him away from Daredevil. You can bring Daredevil in to help Spider-Man, which is what happened initially. And that's how they transitioned Kingpin from a Spider-Man villain to a Daredevil villain. Because initially he was a Spider-Man villain. So I would love to see more Kingpin. I was going to say the Sinister Six, but we kind of got that with the last movie. Even though it wasn't 6 of them, we still had the villains teaming up against Spider-Man. So my biggest thing really is just staying in New York and just have the Kingpin hire someone. And you could build a whole line of movies based off of Spider-Man villains. You can put 2 or 3 in one movie, you know. All right, not more than 2. We saw what happened when you put 3, and that was that Spider-Man 3 from the Tobey Maguire, and that was just too much going on. But you can grab 2 villains and put them in a Spider-Man movie and just call it a day. But I do look forward to him just being in New York. Stay in New York.
Scotty?
Yeah, I the staying in the New York part, that's what I'm looking forward to. Again, like just like Detective, stay in just all of New York. Mm-hmm. I don't even think when they introduce Miles Morales, he should go. I think he should still have like 5 or 6 more movies, and then maybe a couple would join them with Miles, or Miles can be in each other's movies. I think that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to that relationship with him and Miles. But what I'm looking forward to the most is I want to see more personal relationships with his villains, because Spider-Man has actually helped some of his villains, whether voluntary or involuntary. Doc Ock was helped quite a bit as far as like who he is as a person just by taking Spider-Man's body. Rhino almost completely rehabilitated. He's just still ugly and doesn't know what to do with himself. Scorpion rehabilitated halfway. Goblin is now completely rehabilitated. So I'd like more. I think that's the key to Spider-Man. People like to say that for Batman too, which is Batman's cool. He does have personal relationships, but I like when Spider-Man does it. He has a younger man's mind, a lot more patience. You get to see with that relationship, you get to see more of the villains. So I love if they ever introduce a Green Goblin, which I'm confused on why they haven't yet. That's why every time someone asks me, I say I don't see it coming. I love to see a nice relationship with a Rhino, but Rhino couldn't be in the movie by himself. A Rhino and maybe a Chameleon, or a Rhino and not Scorpion. These will be Rhino and Electro. We already did Rhino and anyone. Rhino and Craven's daughter. Rhino and Craven. Anyone that can have any 2 people that can have a personal relationship with Spider-Man, so we can feel a little bit more emotional impact in the movie.
A part of the problem that Marvel, the MCU, Disney runs into is Sony, because Sony still owns those characters.
Yep.
And that's why Sony was trying to build their own crazy Spider-Man-less Spider universe, which is crazy to me.
With no Spider-Man.
Yes, the whole Spider universe with no Spider-Man. So if they can, and I've always said Sony should just say, look, Marvel, we're going to loan you all your characters for this amount of money and gratuities from all toy sales or comic sales or whatever, however they work out the contract, and just let Marvel do whatever it is they want to do instead of Sony rebooting their universe again with no Spider-Man again. So
And
you're right. Just introducing new villains and showing Spider-Man's relationship to them. I think that would be a really good idea, because he's not. This isn't a dig at Batman, because Batman tries to rehabilitate his villains also after he raises their hospital bills, But Spider-Man, if he can take a different route, he doesn't want to hurt anybody if he doesn't have to. He'd rather just web you up and talk to you all day, I think he hurts people's ears more than anything else. So I think I think you got a good point. I think you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For what?
Okay. So we got.
So Scotty brought up Scorpion, who is in the movie. Also, Tombstone will also be in the movie. Is there a smaller villain? And I'm just asking this off the top of my head. Is there a smaller villain you want to see Spider-Man really interact with, like a guy he stops all the time? Because we always know those. I do want to see Tombstone on the big screen.
They're in the movie. Tarantula is nobody to be played with. He's not the strongest Spider-Man. He's in the movie. Okay. He's probably going to be a one-off. Spider-Man's going to punch him in the face. Boom, it's over. Boomerang, I think, is going to be a mainstay. Someone in Spider-Man will catch. Boomerang might get away. I think they were roommates for about a year in comic books. When Spider-Man had not just Sinister Six, I think it was 6 Sinister Sixes trying to fight Spider-Man, and Boomerang brought his own Sinister Six to help Spider-Man. I like the relationship between him and Boomerang. The Boomerang is the opposite of Peter Parker completely, and they still get along. He's like Deadpool without the healing factor. I'd like to see that. And Boomerang, again, is in the movie. Undisclosed actor, so hopefully they actually have some Boomerang sequences. Again, I'm not a fan of post-credit scenes, but if you do have post-credit scene, have Boomerang's mask off and the audience knows who he is, as Spider-Man does, and have them be roommates or something. I'd like that. Set Spider-Man up for also another Batman type relationship with a Black Cat or something, where he's conflicted whether he should arrest this person or put him over to the police because he has feelings for them in some way. So all those things I think is what we need. We get personal relationships, which is what we're getting with the Punisher and Spider-Man, just a little bit, maybe. Him and Daredevil, maybe. I like that. I'm the opposite of people that think Iron Man had too much of an impact on Peter because of different Peter. I like this Spider-Man's relationships and how he displays how he feels about him on screen and what he does with them. So,
Detective.
Boomerang is my choice for a small villain. That was long-winded. Boomerang.
Is the Hobgoblin considered a small villain? He's not the Green Goblin.
I think some people would say that, but I don't think Hobgoblin is a small villain. It's been like 4 or 5 of them, but the first one, Jason Mechandale or something, he just blows stuff up because he feels. I don't think that's a small villain at all. He just goes downtown. I can't afford this shirt. Boom. Whole city gone.
We already have the most popular Hobgoblin in the movie. Ned Leeds.
Yep.
Spider-Man's best friend.
Yeah.
He's already in the movie. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the actor's lost some weight.
He has.
Yeah. So maybe he might be transitioning into that role.
I'd deal with that. Oh, they kicked me out of IT for no reason. Gotta blow it up. I'd take that.
Or maybe since everyone forgot Peter's identity, maybe he starts dating MJ, Michelle Jones.
He ain't got it like that.
He starts dating. I'm just saying. And then Spider-Man takes his woman. Yeah, more wars have been fought over women just by him.
That's another hot take because Ned ain't got it like that. You can see it. He has no juice. He got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the Zendaya level juice.
No,
I'm like, this is unbelievable.
It's fiction. It's fiction. In fiction,
you can't fake that. You can't fake that one though. You can't fake Ned.
If Billy Bob can get Angelina Jolie, I think Ned can get.
That's different. Billy Bob had a different kind of swag to him. Billy Bob was out here.
He's also a world famous actor.
So was Angelina Jolie. Come on, man.
Billy Bob had it going on. I've never hated on Billy Bob.
Have you watched Landman? He still got it.
His name is Billy Bob. You got to be the man to have a
That
name.
makes it worse, not better.
That's how much juice he got. His name is Billy Bob. He get everybody.
Yeah, I'm going home to my man Billy Bob.
That's right.
No, that don't even sound right.
Billy
That don't
B.
even sound right.
Billy
That's my
B. But so the Hobgoblin's your choice.
Yes, if he's
Okay.
considered a lower tier villain.
I think he is. I don't, but I think he's considered usually. I don't think it's. I don't though.
Okay.
All right. I got two more questions for you while I'm here. One for Brand New Day. From each of you, I would love to get a bold prediction. Something we can't tell from the trailer or something people aren't talking about that you think is going to happen in the movie. Obviously, we talked about Sadie Sink and all that. Talking about characters going to be in there. But do you have a bold prediction for Spider-Man Brand New Day? Scotty, I'll start with you because I'm neglecting you going first.
I don't even know if this is bold, but I think the Hulk isn't going to do anything in this movie.
It's
I think
not bold at all.
Yeah, I'm about to say I think the MCU directors are now just wanting to inflict pain on us through the Hulk by not showing him do anything. Bold. I really don't think I have any bold things to say besides the Firestar, and I don't think that's bold. If you read the books, I don't think that's bold. I don't have any bold. No, I have nothing. I have one. Fine. Let's just throw this. I have one.
All right. Give me your bold prediction.
Maybe. No, I don't have one.
All right. Yeah, detective. Yeah, I'll go
I was
with
going
you.
to say maybe the Punisher trains with the hand afterwards. I don't see that either. I could see maybe. Fine. I'll add it in there. Bold. I could see maybe him and Spider-Man having some issue, but Punisher's still not evil. Maybe he gets caught by the hand, and then the hand convinced him to do that Beast thing that the Punisher did a year or two ago. Maybe we get the Beast Punisher, the next time we see Punisher. This is the Punisher I was telling you about, Darren, when he had powers and whatnot. That's bold. Do I think it's going to happen? No. That's all I got. Threw that out there at the top of the dome.
Okay, detective. Yeah, a bold prediction for the movie.
Bold prediction.
Yeah.
Kingpin is in the movie. He's the one behind everything.
Okay.
That scene in the prison, those hand ninjas could be guarding the Kingpin. And you see Peter with his mask off. Not One More Day. Actually, was that the storyline where he met Kingpin in the prison?
That's after, I believe
it was
Brand
after
New Day after
May got
Civil War?
Huh?
Was Brand New Day after Civil War?
Yes. Because it's when everyone knew Spider-Man's identity.
I think you're right. I think it was towards the end of that run. I thought it was a run after that happened, but it could have been. But you know what? I think it was the end of that. Towards the end of that run.
I think so. And that's where Spider-Man goes to the prison to confront Kingpin.
Mask
and he
on.
doesn't have his mask on because he tells him Spider-Man's not going to beat you. Peter Parker is. And he picks him up by his chest. How much does that hurt, man, to get grabbed by your chest? Not a shirt, chest, and smacks the shit out of him. So that's my bold prediction. Kingpin is the mastermind of everything.
Okay. All right. I like
it. Boo.
All right. And I got one more for you. We talked about this character a little bit now that we're in the second trilogy. He's gonna show up at some point. Are we ready for a live action Miles Morales? Obviously, Sony has done their thing. We got to crawl. Well, what is the third one? Beyond the Spider-Verse, I believe it's called. So we got Beyond the Spider-Verse. They've done a great job with that. But we still, to this day, have not seen Miles Morales on the big screen. I feel like we're hitting our stride with Tom Holland here, obviously in his second trilogy that we know that's going to happen. So when does Miles Morales show up? Is the world ready for a live action Miles Morales? Scotty, I'll start with you again.
People have prediction they showed up in the last movie and this movie. I don't think we need him right now. I think in the next movie or after Secret Wars is when you introduce Miles Morales. I think you introduce his parents right now. Cool, because there's gonna be cops everywhere. Introduce Miles Morales' parents, say his name. Maybe he'll be a guard of the prison, something like that. Maybe mention Miles Morales has already been mentioned in Homecoming, so he's already here. And this has been years going forward. So give it past Secret Wars. Because to me, there's no point in introducing them now unless you're going to do something with them. But I think you should bring them past after Secret Wars, the movie after that, introduce Miles Morales and say he's here. And I still think Tom Holland got to be locked in for like 6 more movies, maybe 7.
Yeah, I think he's supposedly has like another trilogy, like this one and another
Yeah.
one. But yeah,
Yeah.
all right,
least.
detective.
So with Doomsday War coming up, we know there's supposed to be Battle World. I think that's when we might get Miles Morales, an actual live action version of him. And I do think that after that movie, he should be in Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie before you give him a solo live action movie. He's done well animated, but you can do a lot more with animation than you can with live action. So I think introduce him in Battle World, one of those Doomsday movies, have him pop up in a Spider-Man movie, and then just let him do his own thing.
Fair enough. You do so much with animation. Sony actually made a good movie. So
the animation department did, which is crazy because Marvel's animated department doesn't do as well. Well, hadn't done as well historically as their live action. So, but Sony's the opposite.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. No Morbius showing up. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's all I got. Y'all got anything else about the movie? Anything else you want to hit on?
Nope.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing it.
All right, there we go. Well, Detective, I appreciate you coming through. We'll put your stuff down in the bio, but let people know where they can find you on the daily when you're not hearing us on YouTube.
You can find me on TikTok or on Instagram and possibly in the future on YouTube under the Comic Detective.
All right. There you go. Scotty, if people aren't seeing us on YouTube, and there are other places, where can they find us at?
Minor League Films on TikTok, Instagram, and of course here, MLF Shorts on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and Kuronocomics on TikTok.
All right, there you go. A lot more to talk about. We want to get those guys in here to give our expert opinion on Spider-Man Brand New Day, but plenty of stuff coming up as more news drops. But yeah, appreciate everybody joining us. Everything's down in the bio, so check that, all that good stuff. We will catch you next time.